this
Sure.
way. Okay, so I guess more for Wilson, but this is a Batman game without Batman. Do you see that as a challenge or a strength or both?
I mean, for us, we're basically in the Batman universe, but we're creating a new game that is away from the Batman universe. We're creating a game about the new Knights, Gotham Knights, and with Nightwing, with Red Hood, with Batgirl, and with Robin, we're basically taking the next step once Batman is not there. So in that sense, for us, it's been a challenge, but it's not tied to the Batman games that we've seen previously.
This is for Christopher. Did you? Nightwing is such an iconic character. Where is he? Maybe perhaps without giving, if you can, either where is he at the beginning of the story, or what was it like to play such an iconic character from the games, or from the movies, from everything?
Without any spoilers, he's coming in trying to fill some large shoes with Batman's dad. And how do you, as a person, become the legend that you've always looked up to? How do you do that? There's a lot of insecurity, a lot of fear, as any human would have, because they are superheroes, but they are human. And there's a lot of that story as you go through, as you progress in this game. Each of the characters is going to have that story, but I think mainly with Nightwing, he's gonna do it the sexiest, and you're gonna have a lot of fun enjoying the storyline and progression of each of their stories. But again, I think Nightwing definitely has the largest burden, being Batman's first protege.
Sure. So how does your version of Gotham and you design compared to the difference?
Well, I mean, Gotham City for us is a character in itself. We're doing an open world game. We have a lot of systemic kind of activities are happening inside Gotham, and that's going to keep the player engaged and really out there fighting crime. So for us, I mean, Gotham was a different game again. Arkham was a very different game for us. And for us here with Gotham Knights, we really wanted to make sure that Gotham City was a character in itself. And that allows all the different characters, because we have all, Nightwing, again, Red Hood, Robin, and Batgirl fighting crime at the same time. So it's really important that we made that differential.
This one's for Wilson. I don't know if you can answer this one, but we as fans know that the Court of Owls is going to be like the main kind of bad guys.
Right.
How did you come to that? And are there any other iconic villains that we haven't seen before that we might be seeing in this game?
Right. So, I mean, early on in the process, we did work together with DC and Warner with actually Scott Snyder. As you know, is the main writer for Court of Owls. We leveraged that. We didn't take exactly what was done in the comics, but we took that as our inspiration to kind of like build our narrative. So that kind of drives the main storyline. We do have other villains, which I know somebody's going to ask, but we have Freeze. We see a little bit of Penguin, but for all the other villains, that's going to come a little bit later on. So
You can tell him, listen, you're Deathstroke. You can tell him you're Deathstroke.
do not listen to this guy. He's giving rumors, but you'll see in the coming coming months and whatnot, the villains that I can honestly tell you are going to be pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Another question for Wilson.
Oh man,
Yeah.
you can throw more to him, man.
No.
Look, I mean, obviously you're picking up a lot of weed after that Arkham Knight, and I mean, you guys got a lot to live up to. What are you guys giving us that's completely different in terms of obviously the gameplay, and what we can do different from that game to this?
Right. I mean, so for our game, we're basically creating 4 unique heroes. This translates into like a lot of different things. Just from the gameplay standpoint, we're talking about like totally different skill trees. They have different animations, like amazing takedowns. We got the combo takedowns. We got all these things that are tied to the character themselves. But from the story side too, like from the cinematic side, which is a big responsibility on my side, we've managed to deliver essentially 4 cinematics in one. So when you're playing Red Hood and you're playing your game, you're going to get your version of that cinematic. But let's say you decide to switch to like Nightwing or Batgirl, you're going to get their version of that. And I can honestly tell you, those are 4 very different cinematics, different dialogue, different interactions with characters. There's also 4 unique character arcs per hero. So they're going to go through their own trauma of dealing with Bruce's death. that's something that's going to be represented uniquely between the different characters. So we're trying to give the player as much freedom and as much likability to each character, because you're going to get the guys and girls that love to play with Nightwing, but we also want to make sure the Batgirls are represented, the Robins are represented, the Red Hoods are all represented, because in the ultimate goal of things is for all of you to play the game 4 times over, if not more. So
It's 4 unique games in one. It's crazy, right? I mean, he took that challenge on, and we're doing it. It's amazing.
Chris, are you aware of the fan campaign to get Nightwing bigger takes?
There's a lot of theme songs that I've been sent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cake by the Ocean, ass, with the TH, I've definitely seen the campaign.
How big do you think his take should be?
It's a really good question. I'm not a flapjack kind of guy. I do my squats. I've done my lunges. They've padded me up quite a bit in the filming, so I feel that it's a not exact representation of what Nightwing should be. However, you know what? I know.
He was very insecure when we were doing our performance capture, because it was you're wearing the really tight. But he's pretty. He's pretty good.
I'm well endowed in the booty area, so I hope that reflects. In game.
So my question's more about the game. So Arkham Origins, you hit a lot of Easter eggs. Should we expect Easter eggs in this game, like Calendar Man, stuff like that, or?
So definitely on the gameplay side, and even on the cinematic side, we've put in a lot of Easter eggs for people to find. They're not going to be to the level of
Change their
exactly
and all that.
Exactly. But for the people that are looking, like even within the context of the cinematics, you'll see Easter eggs of things happening in one cinematic, in another cinematic. You'll see Easter eggs of cinematics that are content in the cinematics that might be tying back to something a little bit outside our game, but comes back in the universe. So there's a lot of stuff that us as devs, we want the players to be engaged when they're looking at the story and playing the game, finding those Easter eggs and be like, hopping online, like, dude, you know what? Was that a whatever? Whatever. But that's something that we definitely put a lot of energy into trying to make it happen.
He's with me.
Oh, good.
You had a chance for 10 questions there. You could have told him. Going back around there.
Background?
So I know this game has both single player and play with a friend options. Are there any levels that you need to have a friend to do co-op to get through, or can you get through the entire game by yourself?
You can get through the entire game by yourself. The co-op is it's another play style, right? It's actually a very fun experience. I played through the entire game with the other group of directors actually, and I can honestly tell you it was a really fun experience. But you don't need to play co-op to kind of deliver anything. You're just going to get a very different experience than if you would as a single player.
Who was the worst director you played with?
Actually, they would say I was the worst director because I was be button spamming, and I'd be like,
They're like, you're the last pick in the dodgeball game.
But to each their own.
Okay, softest of softball questions. Obviously, Stray came out recently, so I know there's probably no animals. Yes, I know there's probably no animals in this, but if you had to pick a Batman animal or Gotham animal, what animal would you put in some sort of steal?
That is a.
Oh, snap the soft
This is my dog.
Oh,
This is my pup. I'm putting Moneypenny, my dog, in the game. Or Nightwing's pup.
yes.
So I won't say that there aren't any animals, but I cannot say what it is, and I'll leave it at that.
Oh, okay. I was genuinely hoping for a softball question, but damn, all right.
Dude, you gave them that? You gave them? That's good. That's great.
You guys are all here. Your girls are here. I want to.
I try to stick to Nightwing as close as possible. I had a picture of him for 15 years in my phone. I know more than 10. And I had an image of him in my phone. And when I booked the role, I showed them. I was like, look, this is Terry McGinnis, Batman Beyond. They're like, no, that's Nightwing. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm portraying the character that I've been watching and trying to live my life by the same type of, personality type. Charismatic, optimistic, natural leader. The list goes on, right? No,
Don't feed the eagle, man.
wait. No, but honestly, I try to stay as close to Nightwing as original Nightwing as possible and pay respect to the character because he's very loved, as well as to the writers and creators of the character.
Christopher, you play the voice of Nightwing. So if you had to pick one of the other three to play as, who would you pick?
I would go Batgirl because I think she's extremely intelligent, probably the most well-rounded character. She's awesome, and she's overcome, I feel, it's so hard to say. I think she's overcome quite a bit, having a broken back and being able to, as Oracle, and overcoming that. I mean, Red Hood did come back to life, so I don't know, who's had it worse. But yeah, I think Batgirl, she's awesome.
Yes.
Well, look, the question everybody wants to know: you as Nightwing, Starfire or Barbara?
Oh man.
Oh, okay.
Different phases of his life, right? He's a teenager, he's an adult. Like as you grow, you continue to find different flavors for your palate. As for me, who's to say Nightwing wouldn't fall in love with someone else, like maybe Red Hood? He's a gorgeous guy.
Keep in mind, one of your coworkers.
Yeah. Just trying to be respectful to your coworkers as well. No, but it's a great question. I think I love the dynamic between Starfire and Robin when he was younger, but again, as he aged, Babs is great. But the storyline with Batman and Babs, I don't know. It's how do you come back from that? Let's move forward. Let's find a new area, a new frontier.